So the other day, I was reading an old comic from the 40s, and yes, I still read those, and it had a drawing of both a car and a horse on the same road. And it actually reminded me of the state of publishing right now. And if you'll bear with me, you'll see what that has to do with the state of publishing. Hi, novelteers. I'm Devlin Blake, novel writing and self-publishing expert, coach, published author, and former ghostwriter of 200 books. If you'd like to work with me, check out my links in the description. So, back to the horses and the cars on the same road. I wanted to verify that was a real thing and not just a made-up comic book thing, because, comic books make up things, especially ones from the 50s. So my parents are boomers, and I mentioned this to them, and they actually remembered this. And they said as late as the early 1960s, this was still a pretty common sight, horses and cars sharing the same road. They said back then it was assumed it was always going to be that way. Towns had both mechanics and blacksmiths, both stables and gas stations. So what the heck does this have to do with writing or publishing your book? Well, the cars and horse industry was adjacent to each other and were sort of competing for the same transportation dollars. But in reality, they were two different industries that only existed side by side for a short period of time. Yes, it was a few decades, but that really is a short period of time in the grand scheme of things. I feel that this is where we are right now with book publishing. Traditional publishing and indie publishing are adjacent industries, but not the same one. The rules of traditional publishing simply don't work for indie. Not for topics, not for length, not for marketing, or for anything else for that matter. The reverse is also true. What works for indie publishing does not work to sell books for traditional publishing. This is why I'm always saying that it's important to know how you're publishing your book before you write your book. Indie publishing and traditional publishing are as different as cars and horses. Both will take you where you want to be, but they're radically different experiences. And eventually, only one of these industries is going to emerge as the winner. Two such similar industries can't exist adjacently forever. It's not like TVs, movies, and YouTube. Those are pretty much the same industry, so they're going to exist adjacently probably forever. And if it's not YouTube, it's going to be some variation of a YouTube-like site, on account of they fulfill different needs. You don't get a movie experience by watching your TV. You don't get a YouTube-style content on your TV either. And those are fulfilling the two different needs. So they're not really the same industries, even though they kind of are. But they're not adjacent industries the way traditional publishing and indie publishing is. Because traditional publishers and indie publishers fulfill the same need, which is the need for a book. And indie published books actually have a lot more range and possibilities than traditionally published books. That's why I think that indie published books are going to be the winner in the future. Traditional publishers are probably going to not disappear entirely, just the way horses didn't disappear entirely, but they're going to be something else. They're not going to be the incarnation we see them in now. They're probably going to be more for getting your book optioned, for movies and Netflix and other streaming sites. And it might take a few decades, but the genie is not going back into that bottle. It's only a matter of time before indie publishing comes out as the clear winner. So if you'd like to embrace the new world of writing and publishing, be sure to check out my membership club, where you have self-directed courses, weekly crits, group coaching, and a whole lot more. You can also find other ways to work with me at the link below. This is Devlin Blake saying, "Right on."